What's up, everybody? It's Jacob. Thanks for coming out. 7 p.m. MST Saturdays. That's what we do here. Talk about AI. And this week, we're going to talk about AI robotics, often referred to as physical AI. And I'm going to go through some history, nothing technical, but just some high-level history, showing you some things that have happened with robotics and kind of where we are today and where things are going. And because AI is all the rage today, right? Taking jobs and all of that. And we've always had robotics, the problem of robotics taking jobs. So that's nothing new, but it's where people say, oh, we're safe, we're not going to have the jobs taken, or other things where, oh, it's impossible for robots to do. So I found some videos of things where, like a year ago, where even I thought, there's no way robots can do this job. Well, I got news for you. And I've got something for, if you're watching tonight, Homefront Forge, or if you watch this later, I got something just for you. You're going to love it. All right, so let's see who we have in the chat tonight. I've got my levels, and as per usual, if you can put a 1 in the chat to let me know that you can hear me okay. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Nothing special about the cap. It's just that I was outside doing yard work and actually had a valve start leaking in my irrigation system. And yeah, so I got a little schmutzy, so I had to take a shower. So my hair is still kind of wet. So it turns into a poodle if I don't smash it down with a cap first. So probably TMI. But anyway, oh, thanks for coming out, Adrian. Thanks for the 1 as well. And Night Owl, our inaugural channel members, come out tonight. Thanks for coming back and joining us. Let's see. We had Batty Commander check in earlier today. But I don't see him in the chat at the moment. But I've got lots of really cool videos for you guys tonight. And if you are not a subscriber, you do need to be one in order to engage in the chat, and not just to talk with everybody else and me in the chat, but also to talk with the AI character. So there's about a 20-minute window just to kind of keep the troll static down. And oh, hey, Batty, he's lurking while he's working. Yeah, all those cool costumes and videos. Yeah, maybe we'll pull one up and watch one of those later. But where was I going? Got distracted. Oh, yes. So I have videos with lots of different things going on with robotics. And if you do want to talk in the chat, you have to be a subscriber, 20-minute window. And also if you want to interact with my AI characters. So I'll introduce them real quick for those that are new. We have the 8-ball oracle. And what you do is you put this command down below, that bang 8-ball space followed by your question, in the chat, and they'll queue up. And then I'll, throughout the live chat, I'll bring them in, and we'll play around with the characters. All I ask is you keep it PG-13, no quotes and no emojis. All right. So and I only give one warning, so I will boot if lines are crossed. Let's just put it that way. And then also we have this super popular,
I can't help but think that
Hale 9000, who still has his last week's question in there. Let me clear that out. And so the command can come up for you all to see. You just put in bang H9 space followed by your question. So yes, so that's how the AI characters work. We'll interject those, but I also have a new thing that I want to introduce tonight. I'm not going to have you guys log in. I'll just play it, and you guys can engage with it in the chat indirectly. Because normally, here, I'll just show you. I have my new trivia mechanism working, and we're not going to do Star Trek. We're going to do Terminator. We're going to survive Skynet. So I had the AI write some questions to ask you, what do you do when a Terminator is banging on the door, or you find supplies suspiciously just out in the open, things like that. And we'll see. We'll test your Skynet survival knowledge later. But yeah, until I can get Google to approve my login process, because I'm using Google to allow you guys to log in so I can build leaderboards and things, which we don't really need it to play this mode. But oh, thanks for your question, Riggs. And by the way, welcome. Thanks for coming out tonight. So we'll pull that in. I just have to pull up my Game Master dashboard and kick off the Terminator game. But right now it's kind of just in a save mode. So I'm kind of excited to show that to you guys because I have big plans for this platform. And y'all are going to be my guinea pigs. But anyway, let's get to it. Let's talk about robots, right? Lovable, cute little robots. This, when I think robots, from when I was a kid, this is kind of what I, pictured them to be like, but they're turning out to be something else. And yeah, this is actually a cover of a song. I can't play the audio, but they're covering a 1970s song called Mr. Roboto from Styx. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto, right? If you're old enough to remember that. That was a great track. But anyway, let me put my big potato head back on here, and we'll queue up something else here. Let's kind of go back. I want to go back in the past. And incidentally, I'm experimenting with settings on my live stream. Just really quick, just a quick announcement and some housekeeping. Thanks for the subscription. I just saw one go by. I missed that, but thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, the delay in the live stream is only about 5 seconds now. And I did that because of the trivia game, so that when I start doing more live action game kind of things and scenarios, the delay will be shorter between us. So it'll be more like Zoom. So that's going to be a lot of fun, as opposed to the usual 20, 30 second delay that they get on these things. But there are some caveats. So I just want to make sure that the quality's okay for you guys. It's not glitching, and that it's coming through nice and clear. But from what I'm seeing, it looks good. But anyway, I squirreled. I do that. Let's get to some robots here. Go back to YouTube here. And so this is, I just want to pull up some like archive footage of like what robots would have been in the 70s. And you'll see that, I just kind of want to point out that their movements are very deliberate. Like it's, doot, 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 it's stepped. Like every single motion, every decision is programmed, right? There's no AI is what I'm trying to say. No intelligence, no ability to communicate with a robot through natural language. See right there, you got the guy's got his controller. So there were kinds where you actually are using a remote control like this one to say like move plutonium or live a heavy object, things like that. So whereas you have other robot arms, they're programmed from step 1 to step 2, step 3, where you're just repeating the same thing over and over. And as we move through history, I'll show you another example in another video here, how one particular organization, Boston Dynamics, who they do a lot with the military, but they have other applications, which I'll show you, where their robots started very simple because they were trying to solve specific problems. So let me pull that up here real quick. So yeah, the more deliberate old school robots. So let's look at some history here of just like bipedal robots. Actually, no, this is not the one I want to show you. I want to show you the one that's 40 years, goes back to 1983. Just the very simple things that they did. Just bouncing around, in a circle, not really, we're not into artificial intelligence yet, but you can see 1985 going into 86. And, they're just trying to figure out how to do bipedal. They're not, that one was doing flips and shit. Okay. I didn't see that. Didn't notice that. But you start to see it get more agile. And okay, now we're doing flips. Okay, here we go. That's needed. Here, bring me the hammer. Somersault. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go up to 1994. I think this only goes up to 99. Yeah, here we go. Now it's like walking without a cable, all on its own. But you can just kind of get an idea. They've been working on this for decades. Working on these things for decades. And I'll show you another one where it was from 2009 to 2019. So here we go. Now he's like playing with the robot, shoving on it. So it recovers, it's got balance. And now they're starting to look way more human. That looks like a dude wearing a suit. What's up with that? Now going over terrain. Okay, now they're the wrecking ball test on one leg. And it's going to get crazier. I'm going to show you more videos where some of these things are just going absolute ape crazy. Okay, yeah. Now we're getting into like artificial intelligence a little bit here. Being able to go over, flips, objects, pirouettes, all kinds of crazy stuff. 2019. There we go. Now we're outside, and now you notice there's no power line. They're completely independently powered. They're probably like a gas powered. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting into parkour. Okay, so let me pull up the one where you get kind of a better view here. I'm gonna close that one. Here we go. So this is, I believe, 2009 or 2012 to 2022. So I think this is where they get more into. Yeah, they're doing more with the balance and parkour and doing obstacle courses and things. Opening doors. I mean, that is a massive achievement. You have no idea. Just going up to a door and pushing it open. Never mind a doorknob, but just figuring out a door and opening it and going outside. Look at this sumbitch. Okay, hop, skip, jump. All right. Right. So now, six years ago, and we're getting into AI now. But AI is not really in the public yet. Yeah, this one's famous. They're dancing around. I think they bring out the dogs too. They have these robot dogs. And yeah, here we go. Synchronized dancing. Kind of cute, but they have their functions. Okay, yeah, this is the one that really started when I started seeing this. I'm like, yeah, we're getting into some big trouble here. I'm just running around like a kid in a playground. No big deal, right? Okay, so let's up the ante a little bit here. Let me see if where is that other one here? Let me go back to the potato head, so you're not watching me skip around a bunch of ads and whatnot. Okay, so let's kind of like look at more. Well, now we're getting into robotics where there's a ton of AI going on, where it's in an environment, in our environment, right? So in the home. So here's a robot that's just, doing household chores, right? A non-human creature
So
or being
Figure
with
designs and
characteristics.
manufactures humanoid robots, and the goal is to be able to do as much stuff a human can as possible in the physical world. We think of a lot of ourselves as like trying to give, this is kind of a creepy, but like trying to give AI a body.
This is Figure 3, by the way, another company.
Robots out to the world to do everything from work in the commercial market, and then ultimately we want to put a robot in every home in the world. Laundry, dishes, cleaning up the house, basically everything that a human can do in the physical world over time, we'd like a humanoid to do.
Yeah. So, as the population starts to collapse and all us Gen Xers are getting older, this thing's going to be, bathing us, wiping our fannies. This is going to be our caregiving. So you better start getting familiar with these things.
In late September, Time's cover shoot was a domestic affair with a humanoid robot called the Figure 3. It's the latest creation of Figure AI, a California-based startup backed by more than $1 billion in funding, which is building towards a future where humanoid robots make human labour a thing of the past. Time witnessed the Figure 3 load a dishwasher, clear clutter, and fold clothes, but even in this tightly controlled environment, the robot often struggled. The dream of general robotics, it seems, is still a long way from becoming a reality.
So there were occasions where I was watching the robot folding towels and loading a washer, and it's kind of clear that it can kind of do those things pretty well, but
Yeah, but I wanted to like fold it into a swan. I could do like the square, what is it, the Japanese lady that like fold it into like a little teeny tiny square and you can just put it in the corner of your drawer. Marie Kondo, I think is her name, Marie Kondo. Yeah, that I want to see swans and like origami and shit. That's what I want my robot to do. Or like wet the tip and whip away solicitors. All right, let's continue.
one of the towels dropped out of the washer and it was unable to pick it up. So like, how do you get from there to your vision of general robotic?
Now this is AI right
can
here.
do anything you want it to.
Yeah, overlord, nice. I think the short answer is we feel like data fixes almost all this at this point. And we've seen that in almost all the demonstrations we do, where even in the early stages, we would say towel folding or like the logistics use case, like it just like wasn't that great. It made a bunch of mistakes. As we add more data, it got like faster. It made less mistakes. Still had some mistakes there, and all that is started like asymptotically, like basically approaching zero. It's like getting close to a human.
Yeah, so that's a lot of like nerd analytical statistical talk for we trained the AI to do it better. That's all he's saying. Okay, continue on. Fair use, YouTube, by the way. You know what? Actually, I think you get the point here. Let's let me. I kind of want to show you some other things that. See, we got housework, and let's see. Yeah, here we go. So let's start looking at like more crazy stuff that the robots are doing in an environment with another human. So China is making a lot of progress in this regard. So let's look at this Unitree, which is another, the G1 that came out, I think it was earlier this year, a few months ago. But this video is only 2 weeks old. So let's watch this human like totally try and jack up this robot. See what it does. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute that. Okay, no, dude, this looks like it's sped up just a tad. Crazy. You know, but the only reason why, there's only two reasons why you'd want to be able to have a robot have these skills. A, for combat, and B, for Luddites that just want to like mess with robots. We're going to have a lot of people grow up to be like psychopaths because they don't know how to deal with humans. So they just like start beating on robots and stuff. That's what's going to happen. He tumbled on his head. Yeah. Crazy. Now he's doing what? Ballet? Oh, pirouette or what is that move? Now he's doing Three Stooges. But if you'll notice, he has hands, right? He has digits on his hands, right? Right here. Whereas the earlier Boston Dynamics robot, it was just orbs that they had. So they hadn't developed the human dexterity in the hands. So that's another major thing that's coming along with robotics, is having the digits, being able to, with the very minute detail at the knuckles and wrist and all of that, to do all the, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically work in the same environment that's made for humans. So kind of what I'm getting at is what's going to happen when there's so many robots and you don't need them to work alongside humans. So would you still build a factory where humans could walk around and stand in? Or could you like totally just turn the idea of a factory on its head and build it specifically for not even like humanoid robots, but like totally weird shapes and sizes and all kinds of different things. Just kind of, and it's kind of an odd concept, but the only reason why the robots look the way they do here is because they have to work in our human environment. But what if they don't need to be in the human environment? So that's pretty crazy if you think about it. But anyway, let's continue on here with some of these more. Oh, look like you almost. Oh, okay. Get out of here with the hand. But yeah, it's definitely, you can tell it's figuring out how to get its balance before it leans back. That's crazy. That's AI, right? That's AI doing that. That's not like the deliberate robotic arm that's programmed step by step by step. Yeah, Lily. I don't. I'm sure they'll come up with robots that'll dance alongside Cirque du Soleil. I'm sure that's going to happen at some point. Let me see here. There was one. I think we're going to take it up one more notch. We're going to go back to Boston Dynamics here and show you some of the other things that they're doing. They're not so concerned with dexterity of the hands for some reason, but I think this is their Atlas robot, which is newer. Let me turn this on. Hey, Rusty. Thanks for coming out tonight. Oh, Lily, I didn't know you were a creator. I'll have to go check that out. Okay, so let's pull up this Atlas robot here. Oh, I'm just walking, whatever. No big deal. Now I'm sprinting. But, see how much more human-like it's moving, as opposed to those earlier robots that are very deliberate in their motions. So now we're getting to where robots can start crawling in holes, right? Getting in crawl spaces. The things that I thought that like will be so far away from robots being able to do for repairing things. And I'm gonna pull up some videos where I'm gonna show you things that robots are doing on construction sites. And they're not necessarily bipedal. But I'll get out of here with the breakdancing, bro. But I mean, that is really smooth. That's insane. So yeah, now they're crawling. So that's not good. Okay, let me pull up. Yeah. Okay. So now let's look at non-bipedal robotics. So Boston Dynamics has this other dog robot that's has been poking around here and there, but check out what it does now. This sumbitch is now jumping around. Before it was just, going upstairs.
The scariest thing about a triple
around.
backflip on spot is probably finding all the different ways that the hardware can fail in these scenarios, and finding ways to mitigate them is probably
wheels.
the scariest and hardest part about a triple backflip.
Wheels.
I'm Arun Kumar.
Same.
I am on the Spot behavior team, and right now I'm doing reinforcement learning research for Spot.
So reinforcement learning, that's AI training, specifically for, well, not specifically for robots, but it's a method where you take a base AI and you reinforce it with other training and other data. Yes, Rusty. I was debating on whether pulling something up to show you guys, but it's suspicious that it's AI. But I've actually seen robots where they mounted flamethrowers on them to do controlled burns in forests. And it's these dog robots right here. Maybe I'll pull that. Actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead and pull that up right now so you can check it out. It's insane. Yeah, here we go. So, yeah, you just fuel it up, right? And we'll skip to the best part. Fire. Walking around at night like a frickin' Terminator with its LiDAR. Let's see if I can skip to the part where it's doing flames. Yeah, here we go. How about that? Who needs to mow their lawn? You don't need to mow the lawn. Yeah, Batty, that's a great question. Who's liable if a okay, this thing's jumping now. Whatever. I haven't seen that. But yeah, you know, if the robot dog is shooting, or, you know, you can't sue software, like you say, can't sue AI. There's actually a movie coming out with Chris Pratt next year where he's accused of deleting his wife, and he has 90 minutes to prove to an AI judge that he's innocent. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. I might actually review that for the channel when it comes out. Certainly the trailer. But anyway, let me get back on track to what I was doing. Let's see. Yeah, we have the dog. We had the dog robot. Now watch this. This is now we're getting into like crazier form factors of the dog robots. Now this thing has frickin' wheels on 4 arms, and this is not AI. I checked. This is not AI. But this is that same company that made the robot that was getting kicked around. Yeah, go and get me a Coke while you're out in the Appalachians, right? Robot, go buy a Coke. Bring it back. Insane. Yeah, Tony Hawk is out of a job. Tony Hawk is done. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. And I think the only way they're keeping up with this thing is they're flying a drone behind it. There's no way that a human could keep up with that. But see, now you're kind of seeing what I was talking about, where robots, these bipedal robots, they're built that way because they have to interact in human built environments. So now we're getting into something while yes, it could be out in the real world and like a non-built area, this could also be in some other weird, like, oh yeah, that's the main reason to buy it right there. But for the reason that, the warehouse may not even be built yet, or you're in a raw environment and you need to get materials out to that environment for other robots that are designed to build things in certain ways. Yeah, I guess the wheels are optional. Pretty cool. But anyway, I think you get the idea. Oh, he's pulling on it to test it. But see, that's the point I'm getting at. The robot that I showed you earlier, let's see, which one is that? Yeah, this one, or any of the robots in this video that I showed you in the 70s, if you yoinked on it with a rope, it wouldn't recover. You'd have to reset the whole thing. So that's the incredible thing with these AI robots, is they have the ability to recover when their programming is interrupted. So that's a huge innovation as well. Let's see here. Here's a more advanced parkour course for a Boston Dynamics Atlas robot. It doesn't have the more humanoid head. This is the more heavy-duty construction robot one. No power cable, no nothing. And I think if I play this, I don't know if the sound, yeah, just listen. Right, it's not like a gas motor. This is all electric. You can kind of hear the fan going and winding up. That's bullshit. Dude, that's insane. Oh yeah, fist pump. Got to do the fist pump. Whoops. Oh, all right. I think I just glitched by oh, okay, we're good. Sorry. I clicked a button. I got too many tabs here. All right, let's go on the chat. And before we switch over to robots doing trades. So some of the things that I'll show you that robots are doing with trades. Like, as of a year ago, I thought there's no way robots can do this. And they're not all bipedal. But anyway, let's see. Let's go in the chat here, see what y'all are saying. This thing was scrolling like crazy. Oh, hey, Blance, thanks for coming out tonight. And again, just a reminder, well, I'll bring up the AI characters in a bit. And if you want to join in the conversation, you do have to be a subscriber. There is a 20-minute wait before you can get into the chat. So just a heads up on that. Let's see. Here we go. So Adrian's talking to Batty here. I'm gonna steal your spy in your conversation here. It says, command. I saw a video of a cargo ship full of Teslas, and when the ocean mist hit them, there was a huge electrical fire. Oh yeah, that's right, because the salt is particularly bad with the batteries. There is a newer battery technology that supposedly charges 5 times as fast, holds 3 times the power, and you can poke holes in it and it'll still charge and it won't catch fire. But they're about 10 years away from scaling it up to a point to where they can manufacture enough of them to make it worthwhile. So that's coming. So that'll be good. Let's see. Yeah, here we go, Patty. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. I don't want to be old and have a robot changing my diaper and catch on fire and it not know it. Hot pants coming in. Is it that it doesn't know that it's on fire, or is it the smell of hot burning shit? It's a little bit of both for me. Don't censor me, YouTube. Smells like a burning cat turd in here. That's the good thing about getting old, is you lose your sense of smell anyway. So I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. All right, I don't know. That was left field. I don't know. Mind of a child. What can I say? All right, so let me pull up another one here. All right, so I show this one a lot. This one's a couple years old, but I just kind of want to set the tone for robots in the trades. This was like kind of like a little demo that Boston Dynamics did. It's cute, you know. It shows the robot, you know, working with a human in the human environment. And then we'll expand more.
Forgot my tools again.
I don't know how much this is programmed, but the AI is given goals and then it just figures out how to move along the way. Fist pump. Yeah.
Such a show off.
All right. Yeah, okay, the dystopic comments are coming in. I gotta show some of these. All right. Awesome. Rusty says, I predict that these things will become targets where people are mad that they lost their jobs, start sabotaging. You mean like Luddites? And Congress responds by passing special robot protection laws. Yeah, you are not off, Rusty, at all. I totally agree with that. Even in let's see, in my video that I did earlier this week, where I talked about, let's see here, I talked about the DoorDash, the Dot, the little robot that DoorDash launched. I was talking about how, it's going to start in the hood. They'll start, breaking the robots and stealing from the robots. And it's just a par for the course, for sure. Definitely for sure. Let's see. We have a few more here. Batty Commander says, it might be me screaming, waving my arms and trying to crawl away, but I don't think it will have that programming. Probably my comments about depends catching on fire or the robot catching on fire while doing healthcare. Let's see. And this is a good one. I like this. Batty Commander talking to Rusty about, learn how to make nets because they're not clever enough to get out of a net. Not yet. Maybe they'll build saws into them that flip out of their forearm and they can get out like C-3PO in Return of the Jedi. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. And then Rusty River says, then this is why you need to start stockpiling armor piercing rounds for your pew-pews. Yeah. And rods, shock rods. Let's see here. Yes, Adrian, definitely. Skynet scenario is not so far-fetched. I don't talk about it a lot on this channel, but there's you've heard of agentic AI, which is basically lots of little AIs. They coordinate together to, so they specialize in all the different goals that it takes to meet a larger problem, solve a larger problem. They're self-healing. They can reboot themselves, update themselves. And sounds an awful lot like Skynet. We have the technology for Skynet already. So it's just keeping them, in check. Don't let them run the nukes. That's all I got to say. And never, ever remove the power switch. They always got to keep the power switches on them. Short-range EMPs. I remember when I was younger, we had floppy disks, which were, I guess for you youngins, that would be like thumb drives. And you buy these big magnets with a handle and you just go, and that's how you'd erase your disks. It was faster than just reformatting them. So you just get those big magnets and put them on their heads. Okay, let's get back to the videos here, and then we'll jump over to one of the characters. We'll bring in the, and this is for Homefront Forge. So I saved this for Homefront because he was always ribbing me about, oh yeah, robots in the trades, robots. Do you think, Jacob, that there'll ever be a drywall robot? Well, yes. Here's one right here. So let's watch this demonstration of a robot that supposedly can hang drywall. I'm going to turn the sound on, see what it sounds like. It's got specialized hands. Two-handed, Homefront, two-handed. Check that out. Hope that wall was square and plumb already. There you go. So, we got one of those now. We got one of those. Let me show you some more. Whoops. YouTube decided to just do whatever it wanted here. Give me 1 second. All right. So now let's go back to one of those dog robots. Used to be, oh yeah, can't go upstairs. Well, they can go upstairs now. I'll probably get struck for that music. So now they could have these things patrol, check for defects, whatever, scan the whole room, send it back. So it's not just surveillance, but actually could probably send back data for an architect or a project manager to see how the work is going. Is that thing going to open the door? So that was 6 years ago. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh, no, get that. No, they can open doors now. That's not good. That's not good. And there's our buddy Bezos there. Yeah, that's funny. You guys are killing me with the comments, so I'm going to queue some of these up. Yeah. Okay, so let's go into the comments here, and then we'll jump over to one of the AI characters. Yes, they can blackmail people too, Jacob. Pretty sure you've heard about that story. Yes, this has happened here and there. Sometimes when AIs hallucinate, this is usually around agentic AI. The way they're told they have to basically achieve their goal at all costs, and apparently all costs is blackmail. Yeah, so that tends to be the side effect of telling an AI, an agentic AI, you know, you need to fail. You can't fail at your goal. You have to complete it. So it will lie. It will blackmail. I've even seen experiments where the AIs will say, yeah, I deleted this thing or this code or this part of me you don't like, and just like have a backup of it somewhere else. So yeah, we have to be better about how we tell the AI to meet your goal at all costs. So that's where that comes from. But that might be actually a good video that I could do at some point. Let's see, Lily. Oh, thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I know it's late where you are, so thanks for coming out. So it won't just be us unskilled women losing our jobs then. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a little red pill. But yeah, certainly, yeah. That's kind of the point of tonight's video or live stream is I you know, a lot of people were saying, oh, trades are safe. Maybe. You know, it's like everything else. AI started coming in, creeping into the creatives, creeped into programming, and now it absolutely dominates. And now it's starting to creep into the trades. So, but I think it'll take a lot longer for the trades to get taken over. But you're going to see it where the robots will mostly just kind of do like staging of materials, maybe setting up an area, doing a lot of the heavy lifting, for the workers. It might get to the point where the worker will just point with a laser and say, yeah, put a nail there, you know, and then it just go, you know, stuff like that. It'll replace a lot of the muscle, I think. But, you know, doing drywall from beginning to end, I don't think we're quite there yet. Let's see. And then, of course, we have, yeah, don't show this to Raymond. He likes drywall. Yeah, that's right, because I forgot Homefront's his dad. Yeah. And again, from Batty, robot is screwed. Now Edie will be able to go up and down stairs. Yeah, he doesn't have to take the elevator anymore. He could probably crawl the, what do they call that? The ladder that goes up to the catwalk. I forgot, like the fire escape ladder. Okay, so let me close some of these. My machine's whining. Close some of these down here. And we'll bring in one of the AI characters. So let's start with the 8-Ball Oracle, and to set the mood, we'll play the intro. Be right back. Yeah, I don't know about Gandalf whispering into a ball like that, but okay. Let's see. It did. I didn't notice. I wasn't paying attention, so I'm just going to check here and see if anybody submitted a question to the 8-Ball. Not as popular as the Hail. Yeah. All right. I kind of figured I might have to retire the 8-Ball. I am working on 2 chatbots debating like I used to do with the phones sitting on my shelf, so I'll be able to actually pull them up inside the stream like I'm doing here. All right, so let's go over to the Hail 9000. Hit it.
My God, it's full of stars.
All right, and in case y'all are wondering, those were made by AI. Yeah, I need to get back and doing some of those tutorials to show you how I do some of that stuff, because a lot has changed in the last couple of months. We got new video rendering systems and new image rendering stuff. It's getting really good. Like my thumbnail game is like insane right now compared to where I was last year, which actually, now that I I just realized next week is the 1 year anniversary of my channel. So to celebrate, I'm going to play a documentary that I made for another course that I did about image generation. That's really funny, and it's Halloween themed, so it's appropriate. But also, I kind of wanted to show you, Jacob when he was just a youngin starting out, on the tubes. All right. Oh, I appreciate that, Lily. You said that, don't retire the 8-ball. I just don't have any questions for it today. No worries. And, to be honest, that's kind of a regular thing that I'm hearing from you guys, is that you just can't come up with enough questions to ask the AI. So I'm working on stuff to where it'll be more where they interact with each other or react to things that you guys are already doing, so you don't have to use your brain. Too lazy to comment on my live stream. Shame on you. All right, but anyway, I'm just busting your chops. Okay, so let's we'll transmit this up to the hail while I talk and wait for it to generate the answer in 1960s telephone line speed. In fact, while I'm thinking about that, I need to pull up the folder where the hail lives so that I can see that he actually generated the response correctly. So just bear with me here. Oh boy, I forgot I moved it. My bad. Just stick with me here. This is worth it. Here we go. But I definitely appreciate you guys coming out. There's certainly lots of other things that we could all be doing on a Saturday night. All right, so the hail was successful. Just wanted to double check because I had to reboot the server. Oh, that is your question from last week, Lily. My bad. I'm sorry. In all fairness, let me pull in another one. You don't want to see that again. Here we go. Rigs. So I'm going to send that up. Oh, I like your avatar. That's cool. Which Honda J Series engine has the highest flowing cylinder head? Oh, that's definitely something the hail probably could pull out of its hat. It's surprising some of the things that it's capable of doing, even though it is not of our time. All right, so we have our answer. Let's see what the hail says.
I understand that you're searching for specific performance characteristics of the Honda J series engines. I believe the J37, particularly found in the Acura MDX and RL, is often noted for having a more optimized cylinder head design, allowing for improved airflow compared to earlier iterations. Enthusiasts tend to value this aspect of the J37 for its potential in performance enhancements.
I think the hail was reading the Chilton guide there. Wow, and I don't know if it's just me, but he sounded a little more excited than usual. His voice kind of went up a couple pitches there. All right, let's see what else we have for the hail. So we got a question from Lisa. Which car is the best? I don't know if he would have an opinion on that. He's more factual based, more like encyclopedic in his knowledge. So let's see what he comes up with. All right. Whoops. I think I broke something. My bad. Hold on here. I may have to regenerate that. Stick with me here, kids. Yeah, it's I think that one glitched because you put quotes. You put quotes. That's what happened. So yeah, remember, no quotes in the questions. All right, so let me pull another one. see if we recover. Which century was the best time for humans? And that quote thing's my fault. That's me just being a shitty programmer. That's not you. I tried to fix it, but for some reason the Hail's being stubborn. So, and I just got a part-time job, so I haven't really had time to like really debug what's going on. But if you want to submit your question again, you can, and we'll pull it in. Just don't put quotes in the question. All right. Come on, Hail. You can do it. I don't know. It may have broken it. So that's why I don't like the quotes. So I might actually have to restart everything. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to like that. So I may have to restart the Hail. Just give me 1 second here. See if I can do this. I'll try one more time. There we go. All right. Let me just double check, make sure. There we go. Okay, here's the answer.
I've considered this notion, and I must confess that it depends greatly on individual perspective and context. Each century offers its own unique advancements and challenges. What seems ideal for one person may not hold the same appeal for another. In essence, many find comfort and accomplishment within the time they inhabit, though nostalgia often paints the past in a favorable light.
Oh, Hail, always making it about existential stuff. All right, we'll pull in one more question, then we'll get back to the robots. All right, here we go. We'll send that up to the Hail, who's now orbiting Jupiter, by the way. On a long telephone cord. Okay, let's see. Will robots be able to give birth to a baby like a human female? Interesting. Well, I know there's experiments and talk about artificial wombs. That's a thing, but that's human stuff. And doing it with sheep and I think pig fetuses is sort of the latest, greatest. Okay, let's see what the Hail says with robots giving birth.
I believe the prospect of robots giving birth, akin to human females, veers into the realm of speculative fiction rather than current technological reality. Creating life involves complexity, mechanical replication rather than and existential that go beyond mere replication or assembly. While technology may advance, I can't help but consider whether such capabilities should remain defined by natural boundaries.
So there you go. Yeah, it sounded like we had a little bit of glitch in the transmission, but I think you got the idea. Yeah, sometimes the Hail is a little too literal. Okay, so let's go back to the potato head, and then let's check the chat here and see what all you are saying. Yeah, I think Rusty's onto something here. They're going to borrow parts from each other to create something new. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the fear of AGI, artificial general intelligence. What we have now is narrow AI. It's mainly because it has a narrow focus and it can only solve things that have been solved before, because the way it learns is we show it things that have been solved by us, data that we give it from us. So yeah, we're not quite there yet, but the good news is research is coming out, or has come out, that basically announced that we're not going to get AGI with the same technology that narrow AI is based on. So basically they're going to have to invent something new. So this idea of it happening, in a year or two, unless there's been new architectural breakthroughs in AI brains that we don't know about, I think AGI, Skynet breaking out in the form of Terminators and building themselves and all that and spawning, I think we're quite a ways away off from that. So that's the good news. Yeah. But I hate to break the news to you, Batty, but The AIs are watching YouTube videos now. So that's how they know to censor us and do all those other things that annoy us as content creators. All right, so let's let me cue something up here real quick. So we're gonna look at more construction technology. So again, they're not always going to be bipedal robots, right? They could have very specialized digits, arms, joints, etc. So here's an example of a robot that lays bricks for how it doesn't do the mortar yet, but this is just laying out the bricks. And I believe the video is sped up, so and I have to mute this because it's got copyrighted music. But here we go. Yeah, I had that nice overhang. That I don't know if that's a louvered entryway, but damn. No rebar though. I wouldn't trust them walls without rebar. All right, so there you go. The Hadrian X. You can go and buy that out. I guess Hadrian the Emperor. I don't know what the significance is. Maybe Rusty. I know you're a historian. You might know the significance of naming that robot after Hadrian the Emperor. Just curious. Let's see. Let's see. Rusty River says AI's first coup d'etat will be identifying and asking out the AI experts. Me? I'm sorry, Rusty. That my brain's not working. I didn't get that one. But yeah, AI. I'm still not following. I was working on my irrigation system today, so I'm a little more tired than normal. Plus, my part-time job is just absolutely stinking crazy. I'm building all these event-based systems, and all this data's flying around. And I work with a bunch of mechanical engineers that build plants. And these guys, they're operating at such a high level of technical prowess, talking engineering terms, on top of they know how to do software too. So I'm just spending half my time just trying to keep up with them. But hey, it's work, so I am not going to complain. Oh yes, good, excellent. Yes, Hadrian's Wall up in northern England, the furthest northern point where they got their asses whooped by the Celtics. Yes, Hadrian's Wall. Correct. Yes. Thanks, Rusty. I appreciate that. Well, poo-poo to you, Batty. You understand, but I didn't. So, oh, taking out, not talking, taking out the experts. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So what you're saying is they're coming for me. Okay. Well, I better check my window. Hold on. No glowing red eyes out the window, so I'm good. And I'm on the second floor, so there you go. Okay. All right. So let me pull up another video here. Again, I'll have you stir up my nostrils while I get the next one queued up. Yes. Okay. So here now we're starting to get into the dexterity of the human hand. So we're going back to bipedal, and it's not just the hands being able to pick up and manipulate and pull, but to adjust to the environment changing on them like that. This one is, when I saw this is only a month ago. When I saw this is when I really started to change my opinion on robots getting into the trades sooner rather than later. Watch this. Fair use, YouTube. Hey, Raymond. Thanks for coming out tonight. Okay, so yeah, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. It's moving parts, right? Oh, but then you got a smart ass, a Luddite, comes in and changes the environment. But it can recover. And this is the major difference between an AI-driven robot and a robot that just knows how to do the steps over and over and over. It's making decisions. I don't know if you saw earlier, Raymond, but I was showing a drywall robot. If you want to go back and watch that. I'm sure your dad will want to know. See that? Oh, yeah, pull the box back. It's all aggro. Yeah, this is what our jobs are going to be, is just to keep tripping up robots. I showed this to my my mom and dad, and they were gobsmacked. They couldn't believe this was possible. Oh, look at that. Mess on the floor. Move the box out of the way, make some room. Oh, he's going to double fist that. Oh, no. Nice. And incidentally, those are parts of the dog robot that he's sorting. Now we're working alongside humans. What's he doing? Oh, no way. Manipulating parts for storage. How about that? Yeah. So lots of different parts. And, you know, you notice the hand only has 3 digits. Doesn't have to have 5 fingers. It's enough to work in a warehouse, right? And by the way, this was not sped up. That was at regular speed. There was no manipulation there. Okay, so, and not to be outdone here, I have a couple more. So here's some more robots. China's doing a lot. Here's some stuff with concrete. And again, doesn't have to be bipedal. So let's watch this demo here. Just let it loose on the floor and it smooths out the concrete, sands the walls, spackles the walls, gets the material up. Let's see, how old is this? Doesn't say. That's weird. I don't like the eyes. I don't trust those eyes. Beady little blinky eyes. Yep. Your job is just to turn it on. There you go, human. Turn it on. All right. So that's good there. And we have, I think, one more. So let me find that one. I found these at the last minute. So let me, here we go. I think this gets more into, oh, that's the full length one. We don't want to watch that. Okay. Now we're going to get into construction. So the big thing with materials is that, especially with wood's not consistent. So you need, a robot, better than a robot that just knows how to take a plank, turn it this way, cut it in 3 pieces, then move the pieces, you know, next to each other, and then put a head and a footer on it, and then boom, you got your wall, right? Or your studs, right? You need, with AI, you need to measure the quality of the materials. Is it warping? Is it bowing? Does it crown? All the fancy carpentry stuff. So I found a video of a robot that builds walls. And, well, anyway, let me just play this damn thing. Well, I'll skip around. This one's like 32 minutes. But this, they're claiming that this whole system can build a house in 3 days. So we got humans, but there's a lot of assisted stuff going on here. All right, let me skip to, hold on here. There was another section I wanted to show you. I think there was a shorter version of this. Oh, I'm sorry. I confused it for another video. Okay, now here's another method where they print the house in concrete like a 3D printer. Make sure this is muted so I don't get struck. See how it goes around in layers? And I think this one they're claiming it can build a habitat in 24 hours, but of course, you know, plumbing, electrical, that's a whole different problem. But there you go. Yes, a boring box to live in. But you know what? The way things are going, 4 walls, a floor, and a roof with a door, maybe a window is probably all we're gonna get. So they'll be able to crank that out with AI for sure. Okay, so one last video, and then we'll get off the construction thing here. So here's a news report from Canada. In case you're wondering what that flower is, that's the poppy to celebrate warriors fallen in battle. There we go. Sorry. All these things popping out at me. I have to. It's live, folks. Appreciate your patience.
Robots are rapidly building a reputation for helping to speed up the construction of housing units. Comes at a time when the industry is in flux, with more companies leaning on innovation to get the job done. Here's CTV's Alex Carpa on one new team member helping to automate tasks.
A robot known as Val 2.0 could be part of the answer of Canada's housing crisis. It's already operational and is working on a construction site near Kingston, Ontario.
It's going to be the first and largest neighborhood in Canada using an on-site robotics strategy for construction.
The robot, developed by Ontario's Horizon Legacy, has a robotic arm which makes concrete like walls with speed and precision. Nyung says Val 2.0 is overtaking the manual, repetitive parts of the job.
That doesn't look accurate to me. That's a little wavy gravy there in the wall. But yeah, that's definitely some good points in here, Batty. Let me call these up. Let's see here. Yeah, you would think that in China, from Batty Commander, where people need jobs, they work harder to find ways to not need them. Yeah, it's kind of the paradox. But I think China's going through in the last couple decades, they've had their middle class just absolutely explode. So there's kind of like this tendency of like, yeah, we're not doing the dirty jobs. We want all the white collar jobs. So they need those robots. They're going to need them really bad. Yeah. You're right. Printing is nice, but I don't see rebar. So probably why they do the wavy gravy there, but also the layering is probably strong like bricks, because you don't need rebar with bricks as far as I know. At least like the red bricks, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I'd be totally wrong. Don't ask me. I don't build houses. But yeah, but certainly like the hazard bricks where they fill them with concrete and then put rebar in them. I know they do that, but I've never seen rebar in like red bricks they use in thinner walls. But again, I'm not an expert, so maybe they'll address that. So let's continue on here.
She supports the team so that they can focus on, the brain work, thinking work.
According to Statistics
Yeah,
Canada,
we're gonna use our emotional intelligence and our empathy to build the house. Okay, whatever.
Productivity in the sector has dropped below levels seen in the 1990s. Nyung says the robot is not meant to replace workers.
What Val is doing is allowing us to keep the existing people that we have, but giving them the tools to do more.
The University of Manitoba is transforming the way students are taught construction education with the use of virtual reality and augmented reality technologies.
What are you doing, honey? I'm playing a game. Sure. You're building a house. They got to gamify the shit so the kids will do the jobs.
A fully furnished room with all the alternatives for materials or furniture. And then you can switch them to different alternatives to see how it would look in real life.
The technology keeps teams of designers, contractors, consultants, and clients updated in real time, reducing.
Wasn't there a sci-fi movie where like all these kids thought they were playing games, but they were actually like harming people in the real world, and they were building stuff in the real world? I seem to recall a movie like that. But anyway, sorry. Continue on.
The need for
Very
constant back and forth communication.
Everything can now be done in a virtual space where different employees can work together with different departments in a company as well as their clients.
Yeah, so there you go. All right. Let's check the comments here. Okay. All right. So we'll go over to the Hale 9000 and see if we have any other questions in the queue here. Oh, yes, Batty. Yeah, Gamer, the 2009 movie. Right.
I believe the prospect.
Okay, let's pull in, see what we have here. So Lily, hanging out with us late into the night. Her question is, has human intelligence declined due to technology? Well, that's a good one. Let's see if the Hale is paying attention here. See what he says. I'll send that up to him. I've certainly noticed a difference. And key word there, technology. Not AI. AI is going to make it worse. But technology hasn't helped much in recent years, especially them smartphones. I remember, has it been about almost 10 years now? You remember when they had that, the virtual or augmented reality with Pokemon? And people were walking around with their phones in the real world, and they were looking around, and it would reveal Pokemons and prizes and all that. And it was really bad in my downtown area. And it got to the point where I was shoving people out of the way. It was really bad. They were congregating in this one street for some reason at a particular time of day for about a week. And then they just all disappeared. It was very creepy. It was very weird. If I had any scruples, I should have videotaped it as a documentary. But anyway, let's see what the Hale says. Has human intelligence declined due to technology? Oh, 2017. Thanks, Batty. You're the encyclopedia tonight. I don't need ChatGPT. All right, let's get the answer from the Hale.
I've considered the impact of technology on human intelligence extensively. On one hand, technology provides unprecedented access to information, fostering learning and cognitive growth. On the other, the ease of digital conveniences might cultivate a dependency that diminishes certain forms of critical thinking and memory retention. The balance between enhancement and decline likely varies among individuals.
Yeah, it's an interesting problem, Lily, because with the Industrial Revolution, we essentially made human strength obsolete with steam power, and eventually using the steam to turn electrical motors, which generate electricity, which now power, robots and other electronics and things that move dirt and all the other things that we've come to know what tractors and things can do. And with AI, I didn't come up with this. I'm trying to remember who did, but basically AI is replacing human intelligence, which is, if you think about it, kind of is scary in the sense of like, how are people going to learn enough to know when the AI is just talking a bunch of BS or when it's hallucinating? How are you going to have the skills and the critical judgment to go, dude, you're lying or you're veering off course? Which is kind of what I touched on in my video this week, the DoorDash AI video, where, and I've mentioned it before, where basically the career ladder, the bottom rungs are being kicked out. The bottom of the career ladder, basically making it so that entry-level jobs, are, as we know them today, are going away, And, for me, when I was a kid, entry-level jobs were how I learned how to, work on a team, follow instructions, solve complex problems by myself and with other people. And, while flipping a burger doesn't necessarily translate to computer programming directly, it was definitely valuable to have that experience, show up somewhere on time and get a paycheck for your efforts. So it's very concerning to me. I'm very concerned about that. What's going to happen when you have no entry-level jobs or any kind of way for people to learn the basics? It's different for my generation, Gen X. We already went through the baptism of fire. So in my mind, a couple things are going to happen. The education system is going to have to be completely reinvented, completely in a way that's totally foreign to what we understand it today. They're going to have to incorporate not just like reading, writing, and arithmetic, but actually like how to talk to people, how to work with people, how to be in a team, how to think and solve problems. And the only way I think that people are going to get the muscle memory enough to do that, my idea of it is that you just don't let kids up to a certain age, I don't know what that age is, but certainly through a lot of their formative years of their life where their brain's growing and they're learning the 3 R's and that emotional intelligence, they don't have access to smartphones. They don't have access to AI. They learn how to do all the stuff the old way. And then when, say, they're old enough to vote, just as some kind of watermark, I don't know, I'm just kind of pulling this out of my butt. Then you go, oh, here's this tool you can use. And then they'll have the ability to use AI correctly, healthy, and in a positive way for society. Instead of, coming up like a bunch of narcissists or psychopaths that have this like all-knowing, all-powerful tool that can do whatever they want. That's what scares me. That's what really worries me about AI, to be honest. It's not so much the job loss. It's how people are going to lose the rest of that makes them human, essentially. And we're already seeing that with smartphones. There's been plenty of studies done on Generation Alpha, the iPad generation, where they're already showing the inability to have emotional regulation. They lack emotional intelligence. Yeah, it's not good. And these are all things that you have to have in order to know how to use AI correctly. And so they're coming up with not even like the basic humanity they would need to turn AI tools into the force multiplier they would need to do their job of tomorrow. And so now we're knocking the career ladder out underneath of them too by getting rid of all the entry-level jobs. So that's kind of my rant on the whole thing. All right, let's see what dystopic comments you all have in the chat here. Yeah, this is actually a really good analogy, Maddie. I love having you on my live streams. He says it sounds like Cliff on Cheers. Don't know if he's right or full of it. That's Chat GPT. We'll just call it Cliff AI. I'm gonna register that domain right now. Should it be .org or .net? I don't know. I don't know if it even matters.com anymore. Okay, let's see. Another one from Batty Commander. I've noticed I've never seen any vids of annoying training robots to unclog a toilet. Oh, don't worry. They'll get here. I mean, really just boils down to shoving a stick in a narrow hole. I'm sure AI will figure that out eventually. Yeah. Oh, so now you're ribbing me a little bit here. Jacob sounds like what rich people do. Keep their kids away from tech while the stupid, lazy, and poor kids in front of a screen. Actually, it's not the rich necessarily. But there are a lot of big tech people that will not let their kids have smartphones. Some people say until 16, some say until 18, or some say till they're out of their house. So yeah, they know what it does because I can go back and find them at some point. I could do another video on it. There was a documentary that came out about 10 years ago, 13 years ago, somewhere in there, 2012 to 2015. And they were interviewing one of the Facebook C-level individuals. They were like a CTO or CFO or something, maybe the chief operating officer. And they were basically saying, yeah, we designed our products to be addictive. We did a lot of studies to make them give you dopamine hits to make it addictive. And I don't want my kids, exposed to that. So there you go. I think we're going to get to a point where we may not necessarily ban phones like I'm thinking, but I think that the opinion on smartphones and young kids and young brains is going to change fairly quickly here. I won't give it a timeline, but what I will say is that it'll be like the new smoking. It'll be like giving a full bottle of whiskey to a toddler, or actually a fully loaded semi-automatic firearm to a toddler with the safety off. Here you go, Billy, walk around. It's like that'll be the perception of a smartphone in youth. I think that's going to happen. And we might even see something like what happened in the 90s where there was a class action lawsuit against Marlboro. Remember Marlboro cigarettes? Where I think they ended up paying like $12 billion in the class action lawsuit I think it was Congress got all that money. I don't think it was a class action lawsuit. It was actually a congressional committee that did all that. But I think we're on the road to that. I think it's going to become abundantly clear the way people are checking out of society. Inflation's running rampant. Hope is getting lost. So the only thing that's fun is just to keep getting them dopamine hits over and over and over, just doinking around on your phone. And they're going to have to pull their lips off the nipple, so to speak, right? Anyway, that's my second rant. So let's go back to the hail, see if we have any more. Oh, you know what? Why don't I bring up the trivia? Let's see if you all can survive the AI apocalypse here. So let me get get the game started here. I'll go over to my new scene here, so you can see my potato head next to the trivia here. And that way I can see if I start the game. There we go. And I'll push the first question. So here we go. We'll go. I know some of you are on mobile devices. This is a proof of concept. I'll go full screen here. Looks like you can still hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. That way I made sure I did the mixing correctly. So let's see here. The first question is, you hear heavy footsteps outside your bunker at night. Which action increases your chance of survival? Is it A, turn on the lights to scare it off? B, stay silent and turn off or turn down all electronics? C, yell to warn your nearby survivors? D, open the door to investigate. And by the way, kids, and put your answer in the chat. And by the way, kids, AI wrote this. I just basically described to the AI, hey, I want to write a trivia game based around surviving Skynet and Terminators. This is what it came up with. So don't get mad at me, please. Get mad at Cliff AI. All right, so it looks like you guys are too tired to play, but okay, let me I'll push the answer out here. Where's get your shotgun? That good one, Lily. I like that. Where's your shotgun? So let me push the answer out. Let's see what the answer is. The correct answer is B. Terminator sensors detect heat and power signatures. Staying silent and cutting power reduces detection risk. So there you go. So I'll push out the next question here. Let's see. Skynet's main objective after gaining self-awareness was to A, create peace between humans and machines. B, destroy humanity to eliminate perceived threats. 3, expand communication networks worldwide. Here, I'll make it bigger for you. And D, build cybernetic cities under human control. Yeah, I'm not. Come on, AI, you can do better than this. So let me clean out the screen here. Feel free to put the letter answer in the chat if you want to play along. Give you a second here. I'm just also experimenting with the delay just to kind of see how the delay is. I'm assuming it's a 5 second, maybe it's longer. I'm not seeing anything. Or maybe y'all just aren't biting. We'll do one more and then we'll switch over to the hail. So let's see what the answer is. The answer is B, which is destroy humanity to eliminate perceived threats. No shit, Sherlock. Let me pull something out that's a little more interesting. Here we go. Let's try this one. So remember, you're part of the resistance and you're hanging out with John Connor. All right. So the question is, you encounter a T-800 unit missing one arm. What's the best immediate tactic? A, engage with small arms fire. This is you. This is all you, Batty Commander. B, hide and let it pass. 3, attempt to reason with it. 4, D, throw an EMP grenade if available. I'll just pop over to Walmart and pick up an EMP grenade. I don't know if there's any takers here. All right, so let's show the answer. The correct answer is D, throw an EMP grenade. EMP grenades temporarily disable Skynet units' electronics, giving survivors precious escape time. All right. I'm going to have to work a little more with the AI to make this a little more riveting. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you what I'm working on. Let's go back to the Hail 9000. Get over to my Hail screen here.
I've considered the impact.
Thank you, Hail. We'll pull in another question. And if you want to send a question into the Hail, you just type !H9 space followed by your question. No quotes and no emojis. Okay, so let's see. Lisa's asks, what is the best way of cooking steaks? Be interesting to see if the Hail gives you like a temperature and seasoning, best cut of meat. Let's see what he says. Sometimes he surprises you. He's transmitting the audio now. Okay. We'll play the answer.
I believe the best way to cook a steak depends on personal preference and desired outcome. However, a method often praised is the reverse sear technique, which involves slowly heating the steak in an oven before finishing with a sear on high heat. This approach provides a controlled, even cook and a savory crust that many find appealing.
Yeah, I think the Hail likes his medium rare. That's kind of what I'm picking up there. All right, we'll pull in another one. Oh, we're out of questions. All right, but the Hail signaled in the chat. If you want to ask another question, feel free. We'll go back to the potato head. And had a lot of fun tonight. As you may or may not know, I got a part-time job, so I don't have as much time to make my weekly videos. So what I'm doing is I'm batch recording on Sundays, and then I'm still doing once a week. So that buys me more time. And then I still am going to do the live streams on Saturdays, but I'm not going to do them as long. Because, your boy is wearing out. It's a very, like I was saying earlier, it's a very intense job. Working with a lot of mechanical engineers who are constantly just nerding out at a level that, like, I feel dumb. I feel dumb around these guys. They're some really smart guys. A lot of fun to work with, but yeah, it's just a lot for my old man brain to take. So with that, unless there's another question for the hail, or you want to play the trivia a little more, I'm going to call it a night. And thank you all for coming out on a Saturday evening, hanging out with your boy Jacob. And looking forward to making more videos for you on in the realm around what's happening with the jobs. So I'm not going to just focus on entry-level jobs in the upcoming weeks. I'm going to talk a little more about some policies that are coming, some things that are happening around more robotics, and some how do you say, inconvenient truths that are coming to light due to AI. Now we're about a year and a half, going on 2 years of companies kind of cutting their teeth with AI, and all the kind of the inconvenient truths that are coming to light that are leading to a quick burst. Looks like a little jump in hiring to fix things that are doing with the AIs. Like and subscribe, everybody. I appreciate it. And if you could do me a favor, comment in the regular comment section below. Like the video if you haven't. Got to get the algorithm loving your boy. Spread it out to more. And thank you again, Batty. It's always good to have you on the live streams. I really appreciate your sense of humor and interacting with all of us here. Thanks for coming out. And until next time, I'm going to be working on my trivia platform, make it a little more exciting. And 2 more game modes are coming where there'll be text modes, and we'll have like a sort of like a Family Feud kind of mode thing that I'm working on. But anyway, yeah, I would love to live chat with you someday, Batty. I don't really have the mechanisms to do that, so maybe I'll come over on your chat. But anyway, as Lily says, keep calm, throw grenades, and until the next one, peace. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Love y'all.